So you think you can take good photos with your phone? Welcome to the world of professional photography. This is Founders Connect Africa.
Hey, Sasa. Sorry man, been busy.
Yeah,
Karibu sana.
It's been so hard to find you.
Yeah, finally I'm here.
Yes.
Welcome to my channel.
So let's start from the beginning. Did you always want to be a photographer when you were young?
No.
Yes.
I thought I'd been filmed though. I thought I'd do stuff for TV.
First of all, do you know film and photography, for people who are not in that, it's the same the same thing. Cameraman, you know, they call it cameraman. In shags, people always have this camera person.
Muhuri wabisa.
Wabisa, cameraman, and yeah. So I don't think it's a difference when you say film and photography, but you can tell us more.
Oh yeah, so the photography is, you know, take one shot here. Film, you know, it's continuous frames, probably telling a different story or the same story. Yeah, so I don't think there's quite a bit of a difference, if you ask me. But I mean, it depends with semantics and who you're asking. Yeah.
Okay, so when did you understand the fact that you loved photography? Because there's film and there's photography and there's loving the camera. When you first got your first camera, what happened?
Oh yeah, so the first camera I thought I would get, I was ripped off. Yeah, so
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I got this guy who was going to the States. I tell him, by then my friends, some of my close friends were were photographers. So Mutua Matheka, Mwangi Kirubi, Njeri Ngige, Kevin Japicha. So they had formed this collective of photographers that was called One Touch. So I really wanted to go with them, but my friend Jerry told me, you can come, but it will be useless if you don't have a camera. Yeah. So I thought, okay, maybe let me get a camera. So I got this guy who was going to the States. I tell him, you know, I'm looking for a camera. Like, hey, Bana, you just give me the cash. You know, I'll go. When I come back, I'll get you the camera. And it was a really high-end camera. Let's just say that I never got the camera, and I never got, which was interesting, you know, trying to follow up on the money, but it didn't work. So say maybe about 2 or 3 years later, I was bold enough to, you know, agree to take a dent and buy my first camera. So I remember it was on a Saturday. I was just coming from BSF, Bible study. I just got one of my friends and told him, let's go to town, I want to buy a camera. So we went to Jamia Mall, went through the
whole situation.
Yeah, went to Cameras Kenya, looked at the cameras. Finally, I settled on a 60D, and that was my first.
Your first camera.
Yeah.
Okay. So before you loved the camera, were you doing any photography before?
No, so I was in the advertising space. You know,
Advertising.
yeah, I've been an agency guy for some time. Yeah. So of course, you know, working in agency, you know, need this image to go here, you need that image to go there. So you'd interact with quite a bit of photographers. So there was people like Leon Malu, who I thought was a good photographer. Arnold Lakita, I think, was shooting then. Quite a few guys, but then at that time, Osborne Macharia was just, you know, budding, yeah. And of course, like Mutua Matheka, Thandiwe Mureu. So those Patricia Kioro.
She's a photographer?
Yeah, badass, pretty badass. Like
I thought she was a singer.
She's one of Kenya's pioneer street photographers. She's so good. You should see her work.
Interesting.
Yeah, so those are the people I'd see doing photography, and I'm like, hey, maybe I don't know if I can hack that shot, but maybe I like photography. Maybe I like the, but also
maybe.
Yeah. But cameras then were expensive, but accessible. So the people who had access to cameras would do quite a bit of photography. Yeah.
Okay. So when you sleep at night, what products do you want to do photography for?
Oh no, I'm absolutely in love with the Diageo brand.
Diageo brand? Are you doing a bit in Kenya?
Yeah, I'm doing a bit. So early this year, I was able to shoot for White Cup. which is a legacy brand at EABL, Diageo. Been also able to shoot for Gilbey's and Gordon's Gin, creating liquid credentials for them. Looking to also expand that portfolio, maybe shoot for bigger brands within and outside. So my aim, my goal is probably to be the best product photographer in the world in the next couple of years. Yeah, so I'm dedicating full energy. Well, not full, 50% of my energy to that.
Okay, so there are people who take selfies, and they think that they are great photographers, I love taking selfies. I take selfies all the time. But what does it take to join and to be paid to take photos?
All right, so I'll debunk one myth. There's nothing like a bad photo. Yeah?
My director should have.
Yeah? There's absolutely nothing like a bad photo. The only bad photo, and that's my theory and belief, is getting a photo you did not intend to get. Yeah. So if you are going for a sad face, and you got a happy face that you like, oh, this is really good. I mean, that for me it's a good photo. You can use it, but that wasn't the intention. So for me, the intention really has to be at the forefront. So when you're taking selfies and you think you're taking good photos, you really are taking good photos. If you like them, and yeah. Okay. If you want to break into the industry, though, it's a totally different ball game.
Tell us.
So to be a commercial photographer, which is what I do, and commercial meaning my work is to support commercial processes. Yeah. So which is advertising.
To take photos. Thanks, because we take photos.
No, I mean you have wedding photographers, but you don't classify wedding photographers as commercial photographers. Okay. Yeah, so commercial photography really is for the creative communication space. Yeah, so that's the definition. So if you want to get into the space, you have to pay your dues first of all. Like everybody has to pay and your dues is time, your dues is workflow, your dues is building a network. You have to build a brilliant portfolio for you to even think of accessing the space. I'll tell you a short story. I got a call from a friend who works in the agency world as well. She was like, hey, we like your photos. We have this big client, a big hotel that was setting up in Nairobi, but had branches in Accra, Addis, and Cairo.
Huge
like,
flags, yes.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, brilliant. Yes, we are rolling with the tunes. Whoa, with a dab. So we spoke about it. They'd seen my work and they liked it. After we'd agreed over everything, we were sure, we are sending our passports for visas and things like that. She said, oh, by the way, please send us your portfolio. So I mash up a few photos. I put them in a portfolio I send, and she calls me back and she's like, hey,
what are you doing? What is this?
Like this, yeah, resume. And we'd agreed the cost. The client was game.
Okay with everything.
Yeah. So then, because I'd been taking wedding photos, my portfolio had Njae over here, Mokimo over there, a hanging spoon over here. But and they were good photos, they really were. But that's not for the commercial space. Yeah. So she calls me back and she tells me, we like your work, but this portfolio cannot go for commercial work. So you have about a week to give us a good portfolio for food.
So what did you do?
So I cried. Yeah, I mean a week then for me. Right now, if you give me a week to build a portfolio, that's a walk in the park, literally. But then I didn't know that. So I counted my losses. I was so pissed. I knew I was going to come back and buy a Range Rover, like what? A Defender actually, a Land Rover Defender 110. I'd even seen it. I was like, hey, like wow. So what I did, because I knew that gig had gone. Yeah. So I went home. I of course cried. Then I called my friend who works at Sankara Hotel. So I tell her, I'm trying to build my food photography portfolio. Is there a possibility I can come maybe buy a meal and then I shoot and then, you know.
Have it as your portfolio.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, no, let me talk to the marketing manager. Let me see what we can do. So the person I called was Anita, Anita Gitonga. Then she talked to the marketing manager, Keija. So Keija called me in for a meeting. Went with a friend who's also a creative. We spoke.
So, sorry, this was just for you to get a good portfolio.
You know, so I decided that, you know, food and drink was not my forte then, but it was a good lucrative market, because I was thinking somebody was going to fly me to Addis, then to Cairo, then to Accra to take food. You know, I was going to my dream destination areas just to take photos at their cost. I'm like, okay, this is probably a space I'd really want to invest in. So then we spoke with Keija, who was the marketing, still is the marketing director at Sankara, and she spoke to the chef, and she called me a week later and told me, okay, so we're having a brunch. If you want to take photos, please come, on condition that we use, we both own the rights to the photos. Okay. So I check in, I shoot. It was a Sunday. They were gracious enough, they gave me a brunch voucher for me and my family. Yeah.
You would have gone for that brunch.
Yeah. So we shoot. I shoot. Then later, when we were calculating, you know, they whipped up food worth almost 75,000 shillings just for me to build a portfolio. Okay. I'm like, wow. So so that's why I have a soft spot for Sankara Hotel. Okay. Yeah. So then I use that content. I use that those images to build a proper commercial portfolio, and you know, that's what really opened the doors for me.
Sorry. I want to take photos as I ask, as we find out what it takes. What makes money, like in photography? Is it food photography?
Whatever space you're in, you can make money. The thing you don't have a choice on is how good you are at it.
You need to be good.
Yeah, like you really, you know what we say, that that nobody will hire you for work you want to do. People will hire you for work they know you can do. Yeah? So if you send a portfolio for food, they'll hire you for food work. What a lot of young photographers, and you know, I was squarely in that category then, is we want to shoot everything, and then we think that we are the ish. Yeah. Only to come up and realize, you know, things are really crazy.
I need you to tell me the products that you have done photography for, the people you've done photography for.
Oh, all right. So my portfolio is, right now it's rich. I've shot for Sankara Hotel. I've shot for Intercontinental. I've shot for Golden Tulip and Royal Tulip. I've shot for Five Senses. I've shot for Art Cafe, who we've done. Amount of work we've done on Art Cafe is it's expansive. I've shot for, there's a new campaign running by Pride, the detergent. I shot the stills, the commercial stills, and I shot the product. Valon, I just recently shot Valon. We've done White Cup, we've done Gordon's Gin, we've done Gilby's Gin. I've shot Sikera. The work is really extensive. Yeah.
Who is your client?
All right, so you need to remember that you have a sales process as an entrepreneur. My work is to make the sales process a little bit more easier than if your salesperson just went. So that's why my work must really, really look appealing. You know, if I'm shooting beer, the pour, the foam, the bubbling, because I need to really, really convince you before you make the decision. I need to help your sales team make the conversions they need. So if you're into sales and you need to make conversions, good photography and film, you know, if you're doing a TVC, really goes a long way in helping your sales team make those conversions.
All right, thank you so much. You know, I'm expecting you to send me those photos because
I'll definitely
this is
send
interesting.
you.
But how much is it for an entrepreneur? Is it too costly?
These are asked for commercial photography. Um, uh, how long am I on set? Am I on set for 8 hours, or am I on set for half a day? So that's one. Secondly, what am I shooting? How many products? Then am I doing the retouching, the final retouching? And so all those costs go into play. You know, with a big agency, what you would do before Corona is you would have a producer, then an assistant producer, then you'd have a driver, then you have somebody.
You have to account for
You have to have every cost. So you end up spending 200,000. It's crazy. So now what I've been able to do is I've been able to build a workflow that I can execute from home, which means I've killed all these costs for my clients. Yeah, you know, I don't need a driver. Yeah, just send me the product. Yeah, like the White Cup work we did and Gordon's Gin and Gilby's were all shot from the living room. Yeah, and they've been flighted. But I'd like to say, if you're an entrepreneur and you need some work, hatuwezi kosana bei. Hatuwezi kosana bei. Hatuwezi kosana bei. But it's true, it's true, yeah. Yeah. All right, karibu sana. Thank you.
You can go back to.
Thank you guys. See you next time on my channel.